is up, everybody? I hope you like the new intro and everything to Monday Night Live. My name is Chris, and I'm joined here with
I'm Angel Houseman from Oinomas Podcast. Yes,
the.
sir.
I figure I'll let you start introducing yourself. I feel like maybe let's make it a thing. You know what I mean? Like, you either want me to introduce you, or I can introduce you, or are you cool with saying your name? Sometimes
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It don't matter. Yeah, I just I didn't know which way we were gonna
I feel
start,
like
but
I took away the lower thirds pretty fast. But yeah, go
yeah,
follow us down below. Damn, I still need to change that one to my live studio handle, but I will.
yeah,
But yeah, welcome to today's episode. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to promote a show. And as I had said in the clip leading to this episode, I'm pretty much going to be relying on Angel for this one because he does a bomb job at promoting Oinomas. For me, I have some, stories of things I've done with clients in the past, but as a part of my services, it's mainly like me providing live to date production for people and like, hey, like your long form content is done. You get me, fly little birdie, go squeeze the juice out of that,
yeah,
might get that micro content out of it. But yeah, there have been certain things that I've done in the past with clients that have been successful. But yeah, I think Angel, I believe in you when it comes to this topic of like where do we start? What do we talk about when it comes to even like
yeah.
starting to promote a podcast?
Well, first and foremost, I think you're putting me in a pedestal, but thank you by the way.
Dog,
But
you're monetized. What do you mean pedestal? It's a well-deserved pedestal. Like there are people who do not even making any money with podcasts. You get me? Like
yeah,
you've got a dream of making this replace your income, and you're
yeah.
marching towards that dream, my G.
Well, yeah, we're working towards that. And for the people that don't know, I am the host and creator of Oinomas Podcast, and pretty much we've been doing the podcast for about 2 years and some change. And to Chris's point, I think I have it down to at least when it comes down to promoting a podcast to my liking, just because I feel like this is the my most efficient way to bring people onto my podcast. And do you want me to get started right away the way that
Heck
I do it?
yeah. I mean, we can talk about it and then start to show ideas. But like,
Yep.
yeah, like tell me like what was the journey when first starting your podcast? Like, what were you doing, and then like how did you evolve from that?
Exactly. So I actually have one of my first notes was that, right? When you first get started, is I think many people say just get started. It doesn't matter the strategy behind it. If you don't already have a platform as a creator, I would say just promote it. Just say, hey, I'm gonna be dropping my first episode, whether it's on freaking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day out of the week. Just get started. Why? Because people are going to be curious to check out whether you're good at it, whether you're going to fail. A lot of people are just going to be tuning in to watch you fail, to be honest. I think a lot of people just want to see, like, let's see what this guy has, right? At least that's been my thought process
I get
when
you.
I do things, right? Because a lot of people want to underestimate you and they want to see like, and that's how I feel like right now currently that I started doing lives. I feel like people are just tuning in to see what I have, and it is a scary thing, but my biggest advice is don't have a strategy. Just say you're going to drop an episode whatever day you want to drop this episode, but just drop it. People are going to tune in for pure curiosity.
So for you, the
That's the number
strategy
one.
is like follow through with what you're
Yes,
saying you're gonna do, right?
exactly,
I
because eventually uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I couldn't agree more. Like that's the phase that I'm going through right now with both a live studio and copy and steal. Like where
Oh
it's just
yeah,
like
you're
just
right.
follow
Yeah.
through, saying like, hey, we said we're gonna do this every Monday night. Let's do this. You get me? But I'm well aware that there's a lot of other things I could be doing, but it's really easy to feel overwhelmed by those things that you can be doing and like looking at others and like comparing yourself to them is just like, fuck them. Everyone's on their own journey. You just need to start and make this a muscle. You need to like get used to it, and then all those other things come into place. And I think where you're about to turn the wheel to is like then you start to like the consistency in terms of like whatever you commit to, be consistent on that commitment so that people have something to look forward to. Like I always call out like for instance when Game of Thrones got in trouble when they didn't release. Oh no, was it? There was some show on Netflix that was supposed to come out and it got delayed and people lost their mind. I forget what the name of the show was, but then I always compared it to like, when Game of Thrones was hot. Like if HBO like forgot to release an episode, people would have lost their mind. You get me? Like people carve that
Right.
time out of the day to be there. So if you say you're gonna be like every Wednesday at a certain time, like that's something you want to like, one, push past that boundary, do it first, but then also strive to keep that consistency so that people can form that relationship with you. And I feel like you've been really good. Like there have been times even when you like push yourself to the line where you're like recording an episode 2 days, maybe the day before, and you're
Yeah.
breaking night to like edit it. You get me?
Right.
So yeah, get into what you were talking about.
Yeah, and actually you bring up a good point. I think you've been a prime example to doing that, right? To dropping an episode at any time that you're capable of, just to drop an episode. Why? Because you're working with your own time.
Hmm.
And pretty much you nailed it that eventually after posting so much, you're gonna start building more confidence, you're gonna start building more tools, more assets, and then eventually you're gonna start getting in a rhythm of things that you're going to find some sort of structure on when do you feel like it's best for you to record and upload your podcast to your own best of your abilities. So first things first, just get started. People are going to tune in no matter what, just pure curiosity. Next thing, once you start building a rhythm, you're going to realize, you know what, I think it's best off if I drop an episode early in the morning on any specific day, or whether you want to drop an episode later in the evening.
Yeah.
I'll give my point of view when it comes down to how I structure my own podcast, and
Hmm.
I'll explain why. Currently, right now, I'm dropping an episode every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
The
That's a
reason
that's a that's
why,
a very specific time, 6 p.m. Why? Because like,
yeah,
is it like do you you'll get into it, but like do you care about like East Coast audience versus West Coast? Because like we're doing this shit late, like it's fucking it's about to be midnight for people at the end of this episode on the East Coast. But yeah.
yeah, well, okay, and we'll get to that,
I see you
right?
on your page. Do you want me to
But
bring up your screen?
no,
All
not
right, yeah,
yet, not yet,
okay,
not
okay,
yet. Yeah.
okay.
So the reason why I chose 6 p.m. to be honest, it's in Wednesday is because to be quite frank, my thought process with this is like I'm a small YouTube channel, a small creator that I'm barely starting to build up my channel, right? So my strategy with this is that let's say if I shoot Saturday night because I have more time on Saturday or Sunday to shoot an episode. So as soon as I'm done on, let's say, Saturday or Sunday recording a podcast episode, then that means I can have it edited by that same night. And then come Monday, I can be dropping reels. So what I like to do is drop one reel or two reels on Monday. Same thing Tuesday, one or two reels on Tuesday, and then finally on Wednesday, what I used to do is I would get together a few of the reels that I dropped Monday, Tuesday, and then I would put together some sort of a recap. I guess you can call it a trailer. And the reason why I would do that is because now I gave a little bit of perspective on what people can be looking towards to come Wednesday at 6 p.m. to watch the podcast episode. The reason why I chose 6 p.m. because I figured a lot of people get off from work at 5:30ish. Now they might be on the road around 6, or they might be getting to the house around 6 o'clock. So they have that time to maybe tune in if they're interested in the conversation or the topic that we touched on throughout the week, right? And then at the same time, it gave me enough time to edit a couple reels prior to dropping the episode. Because let's say if I would do otherwise, that if I were to drop an episode let's say Wednesday morning, then now I have only 2 days to try to promote the episode as much as possible. But I push it back to 6 o'clock because then I can drop the trailer early in the morning and have some sort of reminder for people to watch the episode on at 6 p.m. So Instagram, I think only Instagram has this option where it allows people to get notified if you choose that option on Instagram, that they will receive a notification through an Instagram reel. So that's why it gives me the majority of time to promote the episode. One, if I drop it Monday morning, nobody knows what the heck the conversation was about, right? A lot of these people that I'm having podcasts with, they're not, they're nobody famous. There are a lot of people that don't have a platform. They have a story. For
Yeah.
me, I'm very, very big on people having stories. But in order for people to be interested in that story, I had to give them a little taste throughout the week. So
Yeah.
that's why I choose Wednesday.
What's
Now,
the
yep.
question before you move forward? What's the
Yes, sir.
strategy behind conceptualizing that clip? Like, is it like here's the person that I'm talking to, and this is their background? Because there's so many ways you can chop it up. Where it's just like some people just get the spiciest moments, where like someone's choking on hot sauce or someone. You get me? And sometimes
Yeah.
people go the opposite route, where it's like this is this person, they've got this accolade, this accolade, this accolade. You get me? And like there's different ways you can come at it from creating those clips and those trailers. What's your strategy behind it?
So my strategy with that, it has, I think a lot of us understand what a hook is, right?
Hmm.
And
I, honestly,
let's,
I get confused sometimes. Like they like
okay.
every there's some shorts that come out like this is a visual hook, this is a like, and I'm just like, but what? Do you get me? Like they're showing it on video, but like, is it a question? Is it an answer? Like, is it someone using a fork as a mic? Like, you get me? Like stuff like that.
Okay, and this is something that I actually I'm glad you brought that up. This is something that I take a lot of pride into choosing the reels and TikToks. Now, not every reel or TikTok is going to take off, or YouTube short, right?
Hmm.
We have no control over that. At times, many times I've thought I have a reel that's going to freaking take off and it doesn't. At
Hmm.
the end of the day, it's the algorithm. But what I like to do is, and I've tried this many times, is I choose a specific section. Even when I'm listening to a podcast as I'm recording and having the conversation with the person, what I do is when I listen and I know that that specific part of the conversation can take off, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to freaking clip this, right?
Yeah.
It just automatically jumps. And but
Is it something that you like take note of during the podcast? Like, do you ever pause the podcast and be like, wait a minute, I need to like keep track of this timestamp, or like, well, what's the deal there?
mentally, I'll take mental notes,
Okay.
right? But what I currently do, before I used to edit my podcast manually, so I would have to be going like clip after clip as I'm choosing the camera angles, and that's when I would pick and choose the reels. And now what I do to make it a little bit easier for me is I just upload it to YouTube and I replay it as a spectator, right? So I upload it, but I have it set to unlisted, so only people with the link have or have the access to watch this video. So let's say if I'm working out, I'm listening to my own podcast,
Hmm.
and let's say I'm like, okay, that's a part. If a specific part jumps to me that I feel like it's very interesting, then I'll take my phone out and I'll jot down notes,
Yeah.
technically on like literally on my phone. And but what I do is that I make sure that I don't start off the reel where somebody's still gathering their thoughts.
Hmm.
And I'll give you some examples right now. Like I choose the specific section where the person starts talking about that subject like right there and then.
Hmm.
No, it doesn't give the person time to swipe away.
Yeah.
And I've been very, very successful, I want to say, on capturing multiple reels that have taken off.
Hi.
Do you mind?
Yeah. Sharing your screen. Gotcha.
Yeah. So one of the places that I feel like has been, I guess, I guess you can say evidence about what I'm talking about right now is it's on TikTok.
Hmm.
You can see 142,000 views on this one.
Yeah.
This was pretty much one of my first TikToks that took off, and then
Yeah.
I have a million here, 2.6 million on this one. This one I wasn't even going to post yesterday, and it got to 145,000 views. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
still going up. Um, if we scroll down, let me see. I know there was another one there's this one with half a million, over half a million, 528,000
I can't
views.
see where your mouse is. Where you at?
Oh, uh,
Okay, I see it. I see it.
you
Sweet.
see it?
Yep.
Okay. So this one over half a million views. So not saying that I have the recipe, but I know what it takes for a reel to take off. Now,
Yeah.
additionally to knowing where the clip or the reel should be starting is I like to use this strategy of putting captions, not caption, putting a title and a picture associated with what the reel is going to do. Why?
Yeah.
Because it also helps to for the reader or for the viewer to not only get captivated by what the person is saying, but it gives them a chance to read what the reel is going to be about. And then once they finish reading it, they also get captivated with the story behind the title.
Hmm.
And that's helped me out a lot. At one point, I'd stopped doing this, but I went back to doing that because I noticed that this has helped me out a lot. So it gives them a little bit of a taste.
Yeah. It's
And
almost like you're making mini thumbnails before for each
yes,
thing, right?
right, exactly. And I'll give you an
You
example on,
include those in the video though, right? Because like I've done it in times where like especially for IG, like they add like they you are allowed to like create a thumbnail for it. Does TikTok allow you to do the same thing where like you can choose, or is it
it
you
does.
choose only from the video screenshot?
It does. It does allow you to actually upload like some sort of a thumbnail for your reels and TikToks. However, and I've done that too.
Hmm.
However, when you do that, you obviously it doesn't actually become part of the video.
Yeah.
So what I do is I actually implement it into the video, and then I Instagram and TikTok will allow you to choose what specific part of your reel to be your actual thumbnail, and that's to me, that's been the biggest strategy to actually have it be part of your video, and then you just select a section of that.
Yeah.
And let me give you an example on what I mean is just that you don't let any person gather their thoughts. You wait until the person is like jumping straight into into the story or into whatever they're saying, and
Yeah.
then you automatically get captivated.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play one right now.
I walk into a store one day with my sister Catherine to buy eyeglasses because
So you saw that, right? He's like,
Yeah.
I walked into the store. And so right away he's dropping whatever he's gonna say. Automatically, you're jumping into the story.
Yeah.
So like, okay, why was he in a store, like in a freaking store? And then right away,
I walk into a store one day with my sister Catherine to buy.
so now you're pretty much diving into this guy's story, and then
Hmm.
it also helps that this guy's very captivating.
Yeah.
So,
He's in it. He's in that
yep,
story.
look at that. Yeah,
Eyeglasses because I just need a new frame. We walk in there, the guy was by himself and he was like cleaning away his frames and he looks at us and he goes, and he gasped. This guy we never met before. Like, oh, and we're like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, hey, I'm just looking for it. He goes, hey man, before you guys continue that I can help you, I want to let you know one thing. And this guy had like crystal here. You can tell the guy was very connected. He goes, he looks at my sister, he goes, Catherine was only 22. Okay. This is when she used to live in Miami. Before YouTube, before Los Angeles, before everything, her kids, everything. She was just a 22-year-old girl living in Miami. He looks at her and he goes, you're gonna be very famous one day. I could see it. You're gonna be very big and famous. He looks at me and then I'm like getting ready for some good shit. And then he kind of told me something that I needed to hear, not that I wanted to hear. And then he was like, you do art. I'm like, yeah, I do art. He goes, you just gotta keep doing it. Just do it. Don't think about the art. Don't think about how it's gonna come out. Just do it. I walk into a store one day.
so very captivating,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so and then we'll jump into another one right here.
I
So
think can I pause you there? Not only
yep,
captivating, but I think you chose like something where someone's telling a story, and also the idea like you kind of like played on like people's like emotions in terms of like everyone is always thinking about themselves when picking that clip. You get me? So like you want to stick around for the story because I feel like you want someone someday to tell you that you're gonna be great, and like you don't even know it. You get me? Things
right,
like that, like playing on the emotions. I've been seeing that. At least Instagram has been changing their algorithm for more storytelling approaches to clips. So yeah,
right. And now this my biggest TikTok is this 2.6 million. Now this one I don't have, an actual title for it like the other ones.
Yeah.
However, it captivated the people with how she started the story.
Yeah.
So there's no specific way, you just never know. But this one, it was the actual what she was actually saying captivated the people. So check this out.
I clearly saw my boyfriend putting the baby in the drawer. That he opened the drawer and he put the
That
and
enough
I
alone was
was
a
like,
hook.
what?
Right? So that's what I mean. Like I don't wait for them to gather their thoughts because a lot of the times people are gathering their thoughts as we're speaking. So I wait until I clearly saw it, like right there and then. So let me rewind it real quick.
I clearly saw my boyfriend putting the baby in the drawer. That he opened the drawer and he put the baby in there. And I was like, why did you do that? Like, I was so upset. And he was like, what is your problem?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I saw what you did. And he was like, you need to stop. Like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I saw it. Like, I know
What
like,
the
I'm not
heck?
crazy. I know I saw that. And he
What?
like turned on, it was like in the middle of the night. Like, he turned on all the lights and he was like, they're in their crib.
What the heck?
And I was like, dude, I swear I saw that. Like, and so then I started feeling like crazy. I'm like, something is really wrong with me, you know?
Yeah.
So then I started taking my medication. I clearly saw my
And I
That's
think,
that's crazy. That's like some schizophrenia type shit. That's
right.
wild.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my strategy when it comes down to like doing reels. Um, doing reels come Monday, Tuesday, and then finally on Wednesdays, what I do is, like I mentioned on Wednesdays, that's when I do the trailers that it's actually going to be
Yeah.
kind of like a recap of Monday, Tuesday. Then finally Wednesday is the trailer because we're releasing that episode that day.
Yeah.
And do you want me to give you an example
Yeah,
of
yeah,
one
hell
of
yeah, hell yeah.
the? So here, this was probably posted. This middle one, not sure if you can see my cursor. Can you see it or no?
I can.
It,
Oh
it's
yeah, I
the
see
mid.
it. It's
Okay,
not. I see it on Zoom, but I can't see it on the actual like on Ecamm feed.
okay,
But I
okay.
see you hovered on that one directly in the middle.
Yeah, so it's the one that says culture. So I'm assuming this was dropped maybe on Monday. I only
Yeah,
probably dropped one, then Tuesday, come Wednesday, and then or something like that. One of these days I drop two, and then finally on Wednesday, the day prior, is that the one that says Oinomas episode 99,
yeah.
and this is kind of like what one of the trailers looks like to promote that episode for that day.
Okay.
You know what's crazy that in all ancient
Oh wait,
civilizations,
pause real quick. You're
scriptures.
posting trailers, but you're not cropping in. They're not vertical. Is there any like?
To be honest, okay, before I was gonna be doing the vertical
Mhm.
way, right? But to be honest, it's so time consuming to because not only am I using the same trailer on Instagram and TikTok, but I'm also using this trailer to add it to my actual podcast episode.
Yeah,
So it's just we're in a time crunch, right?
yeah,
Trying to put so many because to be honest, there hasn't been no trailer of mine that actually takes off on social media. So
yeah,
there's no point to invest into making it into a vertical
yeah.
aspect because I haven't received a good turnaround when it comes down to views. So I realized, you know what, don't even expend that time into making it vertical because technically all the other reels and TikToks, you already did that for those.
I got you. I
So
got
so
you. Come
that's
on,
why I
AI
don't.
tools. We need an AI tool for that at some point.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, go ahead.
CapCut actually supposedly does it, but I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, like it's not gonna be able to transition, like, because there's times where you want to put like B-roll to a trailer, and it's like,
Right.
how does it know to like, go from your face to like that actual part of the B-roll that you want to focus
Yeah.
on, then back to the face, and you get me? I get you.
Question: do we currently have anybody on YouTube or no?
No, we do not.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to make sure if there was somebody on YouTube right now that way if they have questions, but if not, we'll continue.
Yeah,
So here, let me do the trailer right now. You see sacred geometry. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer that they used to tap into these dimensions in order for them to get knowledge, and then they would put it into their structures. When you say a specific sound or vibration, it creates a design. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
We just look at them as like, oh, that's a nice design, but there's a lot of meaning to why they put it there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Have you watched? So yeah, that's pretty much what a trailer looks like for Wednesdays before we drop an episode.
Hell yeah. Oh man, what happened to my screen? What?
Yeah, I know. I
Oh,
noticed that you went vertical.
what the heck?
It's all
Oh,
good.
it's I need to unplug my phone. I guess my son has his grandma's phone and he is blowing me up right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he likes to call people and hold on, let's see what happens when I go back to here. But what is going on? Why is this doing that?
It's all good.
Oh, what?
Now you're super tiny, bro.
Oh man.
Bro, by the way, this is what it takes, and this is what happens when we do a live episode. It's just part
I,
of the.
I had my phone connected and it just like it totally like just hold on.
It's all good. All good. I'll let finishing.
I'm just
There
gonna
we
have
go.
to zoom in on myself here. I don't know what's going on with that. That is so weird. Um, but yeah, I wanted to basically get what's up. My bad. You were gonna say something?
Oh, okay. But by the way, something similar to me happened yesterday, bro. I literally had like some sort of anxiety panic attack. I'm not sure if it was visible to you guys that were tuned in, but when I noticed, like, I think it was one of the links that didn't work, and then I noticed the comments from the videos weren't actually showing on screen, and then I feel like I was all over the place yesterday. I'm like, and then it got to a point like, fuck, I don't have no more footage to review. I was like mentally, I was, and then the audio, freaking, I think some people were complaining about the audio. So many different things were running in through my head, like, but I pulled through, but it
Yeah,
wasn't my best. But at the same time, like we've said many times, it's just another drop in the bucket.
yeah.
Similar to you right now, I feel like you handle it a lot better than me because you're able to like, oh, and you
I
fix
feel
it.
like my head is in the cloud right now, just like thinking I just unplugged it really roughly. Like I'm a little angry because I told them like, hey, like I'm doing something, and
Right, right.
like they
I
go ahead
get
and let him call me, and it's just like, come on.
you. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's all right.
Take a breather, bro.
It's
Because
a it's a
take
drop
a
in a
breather.
bucket.
I know how it is, bro. Trust me, bro.
Like,
Trust
come
me.
on.
But yeah, yeah, I get you. But for anybody whoever watches this episode, this is exactly what happens when you go live, and it's unfortunate at times. You feel like you want everything to be perfect, but I was a testament to that yesterday, and obviously Chris is going through that right now. That at times we can't control certain things, and but the thing is to just put yourself out there, and you start progressing as time goes.
Yeah.
And just it's part of the journey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think I see what's happening now. Like, it seems like my webcam got downgraded to 1080p when that call came in, and
Mm.
then somehow, like I'm tempted to like unplug my camera and plug it back in, but just do it. Let's figure it out live.
Yeah, I can touch on other subjects while you try to fix that.
Hey, let's see.
Now I'm Chris over here on this side.
There we go. And now I gotta uncrop myself because I had zoomed in. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. Hopefully the baby won't call me again. But I think what I wanted to get into, like, so one, like I'm still learning how like best way to promote podcasts. I think the one thing for people to learn from this is like there is no promoting podcasts without creating micro content.
Right.
But there have been things that I've done in the past when it comes to like working with clients where it's like if you don't necessarily have an audience to start out with, like there are certain things that you can do, like especially if like you're a brand and you're trying to create a show around a product or service, and it's like going like what we call the freemium route, where it's like what can you give people for free? You get me? How can you engage people to want to join the conversation with you, or even just want to be on that episode, whether you're giving away, you get me, your time. Let's say you're a lawyer and you want to, like, give people like free 30-minute calls to like justify whether they have a case or not. You get me? And like
Right.
you create, like, you don't have to create the clips of the content per se, but you can create a clip just you talking to your friend, like, hey, this next episode, I'm giving away XYZ. You get me? In order to be qualified to win, leave a comment on this. Be sure to join me on that live. Leave a comment there. And there are ways in which you can generate traction there alone. You get me?
Right.
Without
Right.
necessarily having the audience there. But yeah, I think, being consistent to, I mean, one, getting started, but then being consistent to that date or time that you commit to is crucial, in a way that is promoting it itself. I think, like this podcast journey, this game, it's a long one. You get me? Like, it's very rare that people blow up overnight. And I think, you get me, it makes me proud to like see you doing the Oino Mas live, and like the fact that you had 11 people on yesterday. You get me? When you first started, there was five. It was me and someone else. No, it might have been two. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you get me, it went to 4, 5, 6, and then yesterday you were at 12 congruent, like all together
Yeah.
at one point, which is pretty
You,
dope.
you know, you know what that and that you know what that was part of me kind of freaking out a little bit because like fuck, I have 12 people and all of this is going like not as planned. So that even made me a little bit like freak out a little bit more. I'm not sure if it was visible through screen, but inside of me like, oh fuck, because I'm kind of watching who like how many people are watching.
Yeah.
So all of that just added up, but it's one of those that's the way that I was able to calm down multiple times. I hear from comedians that like, oh, I bombed in this show. So
Hmm.
if it happens to professional comedians that they freaking maybe drop, maybe they go and do a stand-up show at a local comedy store and they don't have the best performance, it happens to everyone,
Yeah.
right? So you move on from that and you just try to become better at your next event.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It's all a drop in a bucket, man.
Yeah.
And you get me, like, you're like, when you let those things happen, like it becomes a bigger problem than it actually is. You get me? Rather than just like rolling with it and just getting to the next thing. Like, you just give it too much energy when you get me, dwell on it. Whereas, like, like next time you got to do a pre-check, or next time you got to do XYZ. You get me? Um,
Right.
but nah, I think, there's a lot for people to learn, from everything you showed in regards to like how you promote, how you do clips. Is there anything else that's not part of, micro content that, you may recommend to people to promote a podcast, like potentially ads, or like, word of mouth, or you get me, like what I had said, like the giveaways and things like that.
Yes. So I have two things right now. So if you don't mind sharing my
Yeah.
screen right now. So just and even YouTube will give you some sort of data when your viewers are online. And for some reason, I'm not sure if it's because I actually post on Wednesdays,
Hmm.
but if you pay attention here, obviously the darker the purple, it's when more people are online.
Okay.
So here for the people that watch my content here,
Oh, these are
Sundays,
your viewers specifically.
yeah,
Like, this
yeah,
is
these
this
are
is
mine.
derived from your 1,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, 1600,
Sick.
Chris.
Oh my. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm sorry. Sick.
Okay. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, so this is when your viewers are on YouTube. So
Hell yeah.
based on my data, supposedly we have Tuesday being the highest right here, being on, it says 8 o'clock
Hmm.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
and then for Wednesday it's actually Wednesday 7 o'clock. That's when most of my viewers are on YouTube, so it kind of goes hand in hand when I drop episodes. Not, once again, not sure if it's because since I'm dropping episodes there's more people tuning in, but or it might just be that on Wednesdays, people are just more on YouTube, right? But you can see like the darker purples are around that time frame, and it's mostly when people get off from work.
Yeah.
So you can see early on during the day, it's very vague. It's very light. So meaning that there's not a lot of people on YouTube around those times because people Well, actually, this is 12 a.m. This is 12 a.m. Sorry. 12 a.m., 6 a.m. And then around noon, there's a couple people, but it's later in the afternoon that people tune in into YouTube.
Bro,
So
I
I
had
just wanted to
no
share.
idea that YouTube. I know people like there are some people that love like stats, especially. This is something I need to get more into in terms of like looking at metrics and just getting comfortable looking at like these sort of things. But this is beautifully shown from their perspective. Like my inner, well, my what I used to do before as a UX UI designer. This makes me really happy in terms of like I can look at this and easily understand what I'm looking at. And yeah, like it makes sense. I mean, why you chose Wednesday at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would show you this for more than your subscribers, but I guess that's a real cheat code at that point.
No, well, you can use ChatGPT to ask when more people around your time frame are
In
currently
according to
on
your
YouTube.
specific topic or niche.
Right,
I
right. Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So
I
you
gotcha.
can do all of that, but this is specifically for me.
Oh, my bad.
Um, yeah, and here it's just what people formats your viewers watch on YouTube. So videos, they everybody watches videos. So they like the long format shorts, everybody, and live. I think since I just started getting into lives, it's kind of like right in the middle.
Hmm.
But hopefully, my goal is to eventually also get all of that full with
Hmm.
my current subscribers.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but you can see that at least for when it comes down to like the 1,600 people that I have, the majority of people are watching the long format content, shorts and live. It's getting there.
Can you show me that stat? Like, how a lot of YouTubers they do like that little promo before the episode starts. Like, it's crazy that only 15% of you who watch this are actually subscribed to my channel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think I should have it here.
watch
Oh,
time.
right here.
Oh wow.
Right here. Yeah.
Wow, that's
So
crazy, bro. You need to make that clip. 82% of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. Like, dog, show
yeah,
some fucking love.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Only 17% are actually subscribed.
bro, you need to make
But
that clip, dog. You need to make that clip and highlight this moment.
and I actually want to change this as well. 17% females, and it's been my experience that female audience are
Mhm.
more supporters than male. So at one point, I want to be able to switch this, or at least be some sort of like 50-50.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
that's that's something that's definitely a good goal.
Yeah, and this is my audience right here, 25 to
Around,
34,
hell yeah,
35 to 44. So around my age.
yeah, hell yeah.
And then so lastly, before like you asked what else I do on the way that I promote um my channel is, let me see if I can, oops, how do I get back? Oh, there we go. So aside from micro content, I do the Oinamas podcast clips, right?
Hmm.
When I take segments of 8 minutes, 10-minute clips from my actual podcast, and
Hmm.
then we'll just make them into shorter content, and we'll create a thumbnail for that. So generally speaking, this is another way to promote your long format content. And then at the very end of each one of these, we we also link
To
the
the full
full
video.
podcast. So it's something like
Gotcha.
this. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. I to make sure that you
Yeah.
can talk about this, but I should like kind of like sarcastically, like she was being like
Oi no mas pod.
right here, being, like kind of sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oi no mas podcast. Clips for full podcast link can be found on description below.
Dog,
20.
you gotta add a like what I'm about to do when we end our show, but add just a like a thanks for watching or like some sort of call to action where in YouTube you can add that end title card and actually link them to that
I
video.
I do for
Okay,
some
okay.
reason for some
I
reason
guess
that's a good
you
point.
didn't choose one where you did it.
Yeah, for some reason that one didn't do it, but I do that, and that's a very good point. Here, let me see if so people can understand what you're talking about. So here are some. Oh, let me see if I did it for this one. Oh, you know what? This is live. Let me see that we have. I'll be mad if I didn't do it on this one either.
Hey, you always got
Yeah,
time to do it.
I don't think I freaking did it for this one either. Yeah. Oh, I do that though. But I do add the video link to
Yeah.
the actual podcast.
Hell yeah.
So, yep, I can't play them. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, man. Well, no, I feel like we touched on some pretty good stuff. Again, I wish I have more to say. I'm actively in the journey. You get me, learning how to promote. I think that as a business owner, and someone who's trying to build a brand, you get me. You always have to be learning. And I'm fully aware that my strong suit is like in putting together the long form sausages, like putting together that that piece of content that you're getting all that micro content from. But yeah, I'm continuing to learn every day, and like again, I'm still in that early phase of just doing it. You get me, and then getting to a point where like, all right, I'm I'm gonna build out a flow where like I do a trailer or I do this or I do that. You get me pretty consistently. But as of right now, with this, it's Monday Night Live. I think there's one other series I want to do for a live studio, which is like some sort of eCam school series. And then as well as like we were talking about like how we flesh this show out more, which is like, we're gonna get to a point where there's certain days where like we don't necessarily have a topic or something to talk about. So I want to create some segments for Monday Night Live where like we're talking about news within our industry. You get me? Whether that's a new AI tool, a new, piece of hardware, a
Oh, I
new,
love that, bro.
you get me? And I wanna gamify it where it's just like, we can create like some sort of trivia or something. You get me? Like Sony versus Canon, or you get me? Like have
I
fun
love
with
that.
it. But yeah, I definitely need to continue. Like I haven't posted clips for this yet. You get me? And I want to post clips for this, so that I can start to drive butts and seats. Like right now, no one's watched this whole time, and I posted like 2 stories leading up to this. I'm not mad about it, but you get me? Like I want to eventually get to that point. You get me? Like
Yeah.
I wanna build that slow burn. But again, I still see us as like, just getting the muscle built. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to leave people with?
No, I think I totally agree with that, and I agree with having segments and into like let's say any new tech device, any new AI tool. Maybe we can dive into next time the whole Autopod
Hmm.
versus like the whole Roadcaster video, right? The one you showed me, that's freaking mind blowing.
Yeah.
And there's different tools to it, a full on podcast that we can dive into all the different tools out there because I didn't know about that one. So if we do a one piece dedicated to that, I think it'll be great. So we can do that for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in to Monday Night Live. Again, my name is Chris. This is Angel. I forgot I want to do my other sign off, which is just like if you guys are interested in producing a show like what you're seeing, without all of the interruptions from me being a producer and being a part of the show at the same time, you could go to alivestudio.com or bookalivestudio.com. It's going to be down here below. You can pause, scan that QR code, go to Book a Live Studio. Also, if you are interested in checking out Oino Mas, I always have that linked below. So you can go check that out. And then again, when Angel gets his services up and rolling, we'll have that link down there too for you guys to get some micro content done from the man. But yeah, with all that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you like the new branding elements. You know what I mean? I hope you like the intro. I want to stay, consistent as we build these segments out. I'm going to build some intros for those segments and like really flesh out this profile so that it's easier for Angel and I to hop on and do this. But yeah, with all that said,
By the way, I love the new look, bro. I like that Monday Night Live right in the center. I love that, bro. It looks freaking dope. I'm
hey,
actually gonna use something similar
hell yeah,
to that. Like I really like it. It
hell
looks
yeah,
super dope.
hell yeah, bro.
I
Steal the
was
fuck out of
actually
it.
trying to yeah, I was actually trying to do something similar to my last live, not live, but my last remote podcast, but I just didn't have time to finish it. Um, do you mind if well, I'll show you later. But yeah, I plan on doing something similar to that. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
dope.
I did it in Canva, dog. I did it in Canva. I'll show you. Well, I'll show you right after we trigger this outro. All right.
All right, you got it.
All right, guys. Take care.